Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a really fascinating thought exercise. It's a memo written from the not-so-distant future of June 2028, and it's a post-mortem, looking back on a global crisis that was caused not by AI failing, but by it succeeding, maybe a little too well. The entire piece kicks off with this really provocative question. What if all the hype, all the optimism about AI turns out to be right? But what if that incredible success is actually a terrible thing for the economy? It's a wild premise, so let's dig into how this could possibly happen. All right, so the essay drops us right into the middle of the chaos. It's June 2028, and you're an investor reading this memo trying to figure out what on earth is going on. Let's take a quick look at the economic dashboard they're describing. First up, unemployment is at 10.2%. Now, this number is just shocking to the analysts in the story. Why? Because it's not a normal recession. This is a structural break. It tells them the labor market, especially for white-collar workers, is in an absolute freefall. And then there's the stock market. Down 38% from its peak just 2 years earlier. We're talking trillions of dollars in wealth just gone. So how did a story about amazing technological progress turn into a complete economic meltdown? To understand that, we have to go back to the beginning. So let's flash back to 2026. This is where the first crack in the system really starts to show. It's the moment that agentic AI, AIs that can act on their own and do complex tasks for you, take this massive leap forward. And the first place they hit is, you guessed it, the software industry. Now, this is the really crucial point. In the past, when a new technology came along, you had incumbents like Blockbuster or Kodak who just kind of resisted it and slowly died off. But not here. In this scenario, the software companies were forced to adopt the very technology that was making their own business models obsolete. They really had no other choice. And this created what the memo calls the human intelligence displacement spiral. It's this vicious feedback loop. So a company feels threatened by AI, right? So what does it do? It cuts jobs to save money. Then it takes those savings and reinvests them into better AI. But that just accelerates the threat for everyone, forcing more companies to cut more jobs. It's a downward spiral with no natural break. So by 2027, this whole thing breaks out of the software industry. Suddenly, AI agents become the main way that we all interact with the economy. And these agents, they have one single goal: ruthless, nonstop optimization for their human users. And what's so wild about this is how it causes the total collapse of what you might call habitual business. Think about it. So many companies exist because we humans are kind of lazy, we're loyal to brands, and we'll pay a little extra to avoid a few clicks. Well, AI agents have zero of those biases. They're built to destroy friction. And the memo just describes a total bloodbath across these industries that are built on our inertia. Your agent automatically cancels subscriptions you don't use. It reshops your car insurance every single year for the best deal. It finds the absolute rock-bottom cheapest way to get your food delivered, completely destroying the business models of companies like DoorDash and Uber Eats practically overnight. And then the disruption goes even deeper. It moves past the apps and services and goes for the very plumbing of the financial system. Agents realize they can save you that 2 or 3% interchange fee on every transaction by routing payments around the credit card networks. Suddenly, the entire business model for Visa, MasterCard, it's all under threat. Okay, so now let's pivot to the financial markets, because this is where the disruption on the real economy sets off a chain reaction that almost nobody saw coming. The first domino to fall was the huge $2.5 trillion private credit market. See, it was packed with loans made to software companies, and all those loans were based on one single assumption, that their revenue was stable and recurring. Well, when AI proved that assumption was dead wrong, the loans started to go bad. The Zendesk default was the big one, the smoking gun that told everyone the system was broken. And that private credit problem immediately led to the next absolutely terrifying question. I mean, the entire $13 trillion mortgage market is built on this simple idea that high-earning, white-collar workers will have a job for 30 years to pay it back. But what happens when that's no longer a safe bet? So now you have this toxic combination of real pain on Main Street and total chaos on Wall Street, and that creates a third crisis, a crisis of government. Just look at this chart from the memo. AI took a trend that's been going on for 40 years and just floored the accelerator. In only 4 years, labor's slice of the economic pie dropped by 10 percentage points. That's the sharpest decline ever recorded.
All the productivity gains just flowed straight to the owners of capital and compute.
And this created a totally impossible situation for the government. Think about it. The tax base, which is built on people working and earning an income, was collapsing at the exact same moment that demand for things like unemployment benefits was skyrocketing. It led to total political paralysis. So, what's the big picture here? What is the fundamental economic shift that this whole thought exercise is trying to get at? What's the main takeaway from this whole speculative postmortem? The entire crisis, everything from the software layoffs all the way to the mortgage market chaos, it's all one big story about the messy, chaotic unwinding of this intelligence premium. It's about the painful repricing of human intelligence in a world where machine intelligence is suddenly everywhere, incredibly capable, and dirt cheap. And this is the twist in the essay that makes it so brilliant. It yanks us out of this dark, speculative future and drops us right back into today. It's a powerful reminder that all those negative feedback loops, all those downward spirals, they haven't actually started yet. The final line of the piece is so simple but so haunting. The canary is still alive. What that means is that this memo isn't a prediction, it's a warning. It's saying that we, as a society, we still have time to look at these risks and actually do something about them. The really big question it leaves us with is, will we?